Get over there! Get over there now, you bitch! Well, howdy-o, what do you know, it is Rabbit of ScrubLeet Academy, and we are back after a long hiatus, and I've decided I'm gonna do something a little simple to get back into the feel for things. It's been 4 or so months, maybe a little longer, so let's just play a little bit of WoW and see what happens. Now, I wanted to stream this before, but unfortunately, I was lazy and didn't get anything set up, so I'm not streaming today. I'm just going to be doing a recording. And yes, I know streaming WoW in this day and age is kind of like, hey, what's the dinosaur doing today? But I just want to go ahead and see what it's like today. And we've got actually something interesting because I am on my final day of this ridiculously stupid tournament that they introduced 30,000 years ago. So if any of you have had the misfortune of having to play through this for, I don't know, a month and a half, then you'll know exactly what I went through to get to this point. But I finally got my Argent Crusade up here, my reputation is done, I am on the last day, and I kind of forgot what happens in this tournament after you accomplish all these factions and get the Valiant seals or whatever from every one of them. So we're gonna go through Dailies today, and I'm just gonna play this out because it's a nice way to get back into the feel for things. So we're heading back over here to Hrothgar's Landing. I don't have the slightest clue what the lore is of this place, but I feel like it's probably an interesting story that was bogged down by a lot of dailies. That's what we've got in this entire tournament. This tournament is pretty much all about dailies, and I'm not a big fan. I've never been a big fan of dailies, but I do them anyway. You'll notice I'm skipping all the loot. I really don't care. The cloth is not worth that much. Pretty much this is how you quest if you want to go lore master, is you just go through the whole area, kill everything you need to, fly away, go do another thing. It's surprisingly efficient though, and it doesn't take us that long to go through. Now I do remember doing all of these dailies a long time ago on a tune that I have lost a long time ago. And sadly, I got all of the tournament done on that character too. So basically, I'm just redoing everything that I did prior, everything that I did, I don't know, 10 years ago. And just kind of remembering what it was I even did. This guy right here keeps getting caught. I love it. Every single day, this daily came up every time, and it was him always getting caught in that cage. To anybody who's ever watched any of my DDO stuff, that's Dungeons and Dragons Online, I tended to shit talk this character Foxpaw a lot, because he was just such a dumbass and he would always get himself into stupid situations and need to be carried out of them. And that's kind of what I think Kull is in this quest. Kull, whatever, K-U-L. That's who he is in this one. He's that dumbass who can't accomplish anything by himself and just kind of gets caught in ridiculous situations and always causes trouble. But all that to say, we gotta free people from these 4 cages as well, because Kull is not the only moron out of the Horde and Alliance during this tournament. And I do tend to stay there. I stay on the ground there for a second, you'll notice. And the reason I do that is because if you fly too far away, I've actually had this happen where you don't get credit for, say, freeing one of the prisoners or Kull the idiot. So you generally want to stay there and just wait for that credit to actually apply. The same thing applies when you're doing the mounted combat. It looks like somebody killed off my Chillmaw, but I got this one, so that works out well. But you want to do that with the mounted combat when we get back to the tournament. I'm doing a circuit that I've kind of developed over the past month, so there's a particular way that I'm doing things, and actually I need to go ahead and I need to check and see. We got the Ashwa brand, which is the one I hate the most. But I always check that daily and put that one on the scope so that I can find the weapon that we're doing much easier. And I'm staying out of the range of these guys just so that they don't slow me down as much. You'll notice I used a disengage the first time just to get away with it. These guys don't matter as much because they're the big pack at the end. But all of those heroes, even though if you aggro their buddies beside them, they won't even look at you. When you hit them, they'll give you a slowing debuff. I've got Paladin and Hunter that tend to do these quests. The Hunter is very good because he can stay out of the range, and the Pally is good because I could just put on an aura that makes me immune to movement impairment. I tend to grab these Bone Guards if there's nobody in the area, because they tend to be the ones that are, the ones that take me the longest to reach each time. You'll notice that I have to keep running around and doing all of these circuits. Somebody clearly already went here before me, but they are not in our way today, so that works out very well for us. So then you can just hop over the rest of them now that we've got our 10 and go over here and see if we've got any elites up. And it looks like, yeah, we got a couple. There's still some people here. And, oh, he's been waiting for this guy a bit. Well, I'm just going to take that one. But yeah, we got to get a few of those elites, and those are the ones that tend to take the longest, but the respawns here are fairly quick. So we just got to wait for him. There's another one. We'll get him. And we need just 2 more of those, and I think 1 more champion, was it? 1 more of these green guys over here. Let's just grab him real quick. I didn't even need one of him. That's disappointing. Get over there. Get over there now, you bitch. All right, there we go. We got our final one. So now we can head out of here and fly all the way up above this. That guy's clearly going out there too. Now, the reason I do the circuit kind of this way, partly is because there's flowers down there with one of the dailies, just beyond this wall here. I think it's Angrathar the Wrathgate. Is that the Wrathgate? No, that's not quite. No, it's a different one. Dragonblight. But there's flowers down there, hyacinths, you got to pick them up for one of the quests, for one of the weapons, and I tend to do this circuit anyway. I've just kind of gotten used to it, but I also come over here and check out our TLPD, just on the rare off chance that we can actually get him. Now, we do have a lot of dailies that pop up, well, 1 daily every day that pops up in the Storm Peaks. This one is the what is it? Snowblind? Snowballed? It's kobolds. You gotta capture kobolds. So I tend to swap to the lance for capturing the kobolds, and I also tend to kind of just, you know, not look at them so I don't accidentally punch them before it counts our credit. Because just like with the mounted combat, and with the captured guys, we tend not to be able to get credit right away, so you got to kind of wait up a second. Thankfully, with these guys, you don't have to worry too much, because you can't actually really leave combat for like 10 seconds afterward. Even with a hunter, sometimes it's a little difficult. So we'll just, come on, go. Click. And we just see which one of those we caught. We'll get the other one. We'll go over here, we'll get this guy. And then we'll just back up a little bit. We'll get this guy. And then we'll grab that guy and just make it efficient as we can. We landed on the wrong circuit there, so I normally would have gotten it by 2 circuits, these snowblinds, but unfortunately we didn't get it. So we'll just run out of here. I love how our fox just generally goes and kills whatever we net, but we still get credit for it, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, there's a reason I dislike this weapon the most, and it's just because it's RNG, because the hyacinths you can go and collect. There's a ever-burning ember that you can go and just collect, and that's all the way back somewhere in that general direction in Crystal Song. So you could go and get those items and then just head straight to the place. I will admit this is the worst one, but the ember is probably the next worst one. If for no other reason than because you go over there all the way down to Howling Ford to try and collect that weapon. Howling Fjord? I think it's pronounced Fjord? Notwithstanding, we're on our way down to the frogs. So what we have to do is kiss a bunch of frogs down here. Now, I haven't actually looked into this. I don't know if kissing the frogs normally just does anything. I know it provides warts, but I don't really think it does all that much. But I generally just go through and wait for the potion to reassemble, because I think that one is required maybe for the lady to spawn. I've done it once without, and it took forever to get this frog to spawn, so I'm just gonna assume that without any evidence, and that's all you guys will ever know. You're just gonna have to assume with me. And there we go. All right, so that wasn't too bad, actually. So we got our maiden. As soon as you talk to her, she gives you the weapon. Now we're out of here. We've kissed a bunch of frogs. It was disgusting and slimy. I'd like to fly now. And we will be above the treetops. Now, one of my favorite things, my all-time favorite things about Northrend is just... Here, I'm just going to see if we can get it before we go anywhere. All right. It's good enough. The fog, the mist, just the fog of war, effectively, over all of these trees is so reminiscent of Warcraft 2. It might be reminiscent of Warcraft 3, but I actually never played Warcraft 3, which I'm very disappointed in. I could get it, but apparently the reforged version is absolute trash, or at least it was on release and for maybe a couple of years afterward, and I don't want to risk it. Blizzard is worth some money at this point, but not all of my money. So coming right on through the Storm Peaks here, we're just burning through as fast as we can. I actually kind of love dragonflying for this. Just how quickly you can navigate these old maps, especially if you're doing achievement farming. Now you will notice that the anniversary is on. That's pretty much the only reason why I got the reputation gains as quickly as I did. But I don't think I really needed them because I still had a couple of days where I was able to fully get the Argent rep. So I'm pretty sure that just doing the dailies as you do, you'll get that regardless. I don't need to go in there just yet. Another thing I have noticed, if you're on your mount here and you equip your lands and you try to mount up on these guys, it's going to crash your game because of Dragonfly. So you'll just want to go ahead and hop off of that before you decide to take on one of these guys. I have seen it is very consistent crashing the game. That might be a bug that they work on, but then again, there are a few things like there's a bug in Return to Karazhan dungeon that they have had for a long time and just have done nothing with. And it's very disappointing. But I even have a sort of ritual of how to deal with all of these Valiants and champions. It's called 3 shields, a charge, run away, go a little further, another shield, and a charge. So 3 shields, charge, 2 shields, charge. And it works every single time against these guys. Now, I would normally go with 2 shields, charge, 2 shields, charge, or even 2 and 1. But I have found that that is less consistent. So now that we've got this guy down here, we'll just kill him off. Sometimes I'll just go in there and shake things up a little bit. If I've done more damage than I expected I would do, sometimes they just don't add the shield, so I could just go in there and just finish things off. But for the most part, that is the strategy. The champions are a little tighter. Usually I go 1, 2, 3, and then I'll give them a nice charge. It'll rush past. It usually goes in a random direction, but as long as you press forward, you should be good. And sometimes you can get them there, but sometimes what I'll do, which you didn't see there, is I'll give them a nice thrust, a nice little jimmy with my lance as I go through with the charge, and that'll finish them off. So 1, 2, 3. Let's just go boom, charge at him. It runs me away. 1, 2. And then I go charge and I blaze them with a lance. Now, I haven't had a chance to actually show that yet because they just keep fading, but this guy might because these corners especially are a lot tighter for this strat. So boom, it's gonna push me forward. I'm just gonna get away. Here, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let him get a shield and see if it works. See if it works. There we go. Boom, boom. So you can get it as you charge, so it's actually a lot easier than you'd think. And weirdly enough, I noticed that some days they just are more reactive with adding shields to themselves. Today is a weird day in the sense that they're not. But yeah, some days they're more reactive, other days doesn't really matter. Anyway, we're done. So we'll go ahead and turn these in first, get ourselves some commendations. I might actually have to come back here, so the routing was a little bad on that one, but whatever. We're not speed running WoW, so I turn in those. Those are always nice for the champion seals. They get you a bunch of mounts, bunch of pets, some tabards if you're really into that kind of thing, and it's something else I'm sure that I'm not thinking of. Anyway, this is the final day, so I'll just turn in all these because I want to hold off until the very end on this. I am just very curious. I am very curious how this will go. Boom, boom, 23, 24, 25, turn in. Yeah, and then I expected it. If you're wondering why all of my quests are loading as quickly as they are, by the way, I actually have an add-on for that. But yeah, the add-on is called Auto Quests, and that allows you to just zoom through quests. Tons of people are using it. If you notice somebody drop by a quest giver and then suddenly fly away instantly, it's probably because he's got that add-on. But there's no real fuss and no difficulty with these. You're going to win them. It's just a matter of how quickly you do it, which is why I do the circuits that I do. You'll notice I'm bringing this champion over here. That's so that I have a lot of room to navigate and do my exact same strategy. So I'll get about this far away or so. He spawns up pretty quickly. Oh, I went a little too far. But we've got very little area to work with him, so it's usually better to give a bit of distance. You kind of got to be facing them to throw the whatever they are, the shields, the shield tossy thing, shield breaker thing. You have to make sure that you're kind of looking at them when you get that. Otherwise, it's just going to keep iterating and not able to actually shoot. It's going to tell you you're not facing the right direction. You're not facing the right direction. So you got to be facing the right direction. Let's see what happens. Boom, boom. Great. Got Exalted Champion. Got all the Horde stuff. There we go. Unlocks Crusader Dailies. Oh no, more dailies now! That's okay, that's okay. At least we have a chance of getting more of those champions tokens. I'm kind of curious how many I have right now. So let's just check that out, just for the sake of it. So 114 seals, and yeah, I don't have any others for my other character. I'll do that kind of off the side because of the same basic thing, but you'll notice I've got a few of these things already. I tend to grab the pets first because they just have an actual mini game, and the mounts, despite the fact that they look cool, don't really do anything for you. World of Warcraft, it's not quite as good as it used to be. I understand that there's a lot of issues that have come about with Blizzard. I'm not really too keen to get involved in the scrutiny of that, but I understand how pretty bad it's been. But I still like World of Warcraft just because I do achievement hunting here and there everywhere, and it's kind of fun to just go on there and mindlessly grind out something. That being said, I'ma get up out of here. You take care though, and bye-bye for now.